Back again, exactly where we left off. Super reader time. Got a collection of glasses here. All right, so last time we finished this building, other than the ceiling, the sealant of it. So it's time to go back and revisit something that we were working on last time and we couldn't because we weren't done. So let's put these little partisan guys. We're going to seal this probably over the weekend. And we got to make a base for it. And we'll probably work on some other buildings over the weekend. So, really happy with how this turned out. Like, really, really happy. So, let's move this over here without tilting it. Get rid of the play mat. And let's get these bases out here. Now, half of these are for the big cats. The other half are for the Shermans. Half or so. There's actually 8 of the German ones and 6 of the Shermans. The problem is the big cat ones are so damn hard. They're going to be hell trying to scrape. So no point in them waiting a couple more days on them. So we're going to focus our attention on the Shermans. These are the ones for the big cats. Yeah, maybe we'll do all of them. Just depends how long we're on here for tonight. All right, so we've got... Oh, they're up here. All right, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Man, this one's heavy. All right. So we're going to start with 3 of these are the same. These Plastic Soldier Company ones, and these 3 are completely different from each other, manufacturer-wise. And we've got enough bushes to do all these? Yeah, probably. Probably. All right, this is a Britannia Firefly named Acheron. They're all A-named tanks. It's all A squadron. All right, so let's... Boy, this just doesn't tighten up very well. More or less even there. Okay. How wide is it? Yeah, this one's slightly mushy. All right, now we'll get our scraping device and get this stuff off. It actually comes off pretty easy. This thing is twisting on me. Well, I got a wild hair up my ass and remembered to look something up when I had time to look at it. So this morning, one of the things that had been bugging me is this whole business of, and I've mentioned this before, it gets really confusing with paint manufacturers. That they release other versions of the paint colors, and you just wonder if it's just to try to capture another part of the group that isn't buying paints for them. Vallejo's done it with Flames of War, and it gets really confusing. You know, sometimes those colors they release are named things that are different than the rest of their model color line. And the whole business with AK and MIG, AK Interactive, MIG, and then Ammo, where they're all tied into each other. So I remember to look it up, and I'm like, because I've got stuff from, really what reminded me of it was that, this is pretty good right there. We've got a little bit of it showing. It doesn't matter. We can paint over that. That one's good to go. I got to say, what the hell is going on with the whole MIG thing? And holy drama. Man, there's a shitload of drama. I won't go into details, but I'm like, I always thought that, the ones I had were AK, but I guess they're not. What I have is actually, well, they came in sets. Ammo by MIG is actually what I have. I don't have AKs. So this is the latest version of it. Like the guy made, there was a guy named Mig Jimenez, and he started one company, and then, he's, and I'm not going to get into details, I really don't know, but it looks like he got funding from somebody else, but they used his name, and then he split from them, and he created another one, and he split from that one, and Ammo, I guess, is his own one. I always call them AK, but I guess I don't have any AKs. I guess I have MIGs. Ammo by MIG, all the ones that I have are those. Well, they came in sets. Man, I had no idea the whole drama between it. One guy, and he got into trouble because his girlfriend, and then it was his wife, and then, was being paid to take photographs, and then she wasn't, and then, she got cancer and died, and I was like, holy shit, there was a lot of drama between it. It's all like family drama too, so. I was just asking, I just wanted to know what it is because it gets really confusing, You go and you look at a set, you look at one of these sets and it has all these, well, here's one. I have some of them in the garage. You look at the Soviet camouflage one, and this is the one, this is the Ammo by Mig Jimenez. So this is the last one that he's come up with. This is like he started his own company, but you'll look and there's AK ones that are also Soviet ones, and it's just a pain in the ass trying to figure it all out. So, hey, I just went on the internet and saw those. I thought they were all the same company. Just really, really confusing. But when it comes down to it is, I actually prefer those for airbrushing. But I don't like to hand paint them. They're too watery. I can make them work, but I prefer not to. But as long as they're water-based, there's hope. If you're talking about stuff that's enamel, I'm not your guy. I'm not your guy to go do, even Tamiya paint. I'm not doing, Tamiya paint behaves really weird as it dries. it gets tacky really fast, and like I don't need to be, I don't need that drama in my life. Okay, that one was a little too far. Yeah, I actually had to go to Reddit, and I don't know what, I don't use Reddit a whole lot. There's a lot of, man, this is sharp as shit, man. This is almost like a torture device. This part right here, I don't like going on Reddit. There's a lot of misinformation on there, potentially. It's not policed very well. Not that I really want things policed, but there's some places that are a lot more troll heavy than others. Okay, we're good there. All right, cool. Let's get rid of this stuff. Okay, the Firefly with a running gear backwards. Well, it is what it is. I'll tell you what, though, this Vallejo flat is flat as shit. When you're done with it, I mean, it's got no shine at all. Mr. Marcus, I like the work I did on the Hovels building. I liked it so much I ordered more. Oh, did I say that out loud? Yep, they're on the way. Yeah, no, it blew me away. Sometimes I got a pretty high opinion of the stuff I can pull out of my ass. And sometimes you're like, this will turn out okay. And then I'm doing it and I'm like, holy shit, this turned out really well. Like, oh yeah. You can't wait for that unboxing. Yeah, it's from Noble Knight. They had stuff on sale that they would want to get. Remember, if we find stuff in 20 millimeter, it's stuff that people want gone because it hasn't moved in 30 years, right? Because you and I are the only idiots doing 20 millimeter in the United States. And I say idiots as a term of endearment because, it's the one true scale. But yeah, this motherfucker turned out great. And the pictures don't do it justice. They really don't do it justice. I got to the garage and take other, but it's some stuff that just really surprised me how well it turned out. And I'm gonna tell you what is. I'm not gonna toot my own horn, but look, I showed you guys how to create this awesome shit. You guys can do it too with the craft paint. Look at this wall here. It's freaking easy. It really is. You just have to not get this painter's block. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, and you don't do anything. So I've got 5 more of these buildings coming, and the only bad thing about these, the only bad thing is that they don't have a bottom. That's fine. I'm gonna grab some MDF, and we're gonna cut this, and it'll be totally removable. I'm not gonna permanently attach it, but there'll be landscaping on there as well. A small base on the side. I think I'm going to go a little bigger on this, so you've got like some sidewalk and shit stuff on there. But I'm just floored. I'm like, dude, I should have been doing this. I should have done this decades ago. But then it wouldn't turned out as well. I've picked up a lot of new skills in the last 30 years. So I'm floored at how good that looks. So we're going to be doing buildings for a while. When I got excited about the figures, I'm like, man, these guys look good. But that's what my figures look like. The new ones. The old ones just need to be rebased. Rabbit hole. That's right. I got a question for you. You going to do any explosion or flame effects? Yes. Yes, and when I went to Hobby Lobby, that's what I forgot to go. And if I go somewhere without a list, I forgot. I need to get some of that batten stuff. I think that's what it's called. Basically like puffs, but not in small size. Bigger amounts. Yeah, I'm going to do that. How about that panther that enters with a fire on the engine deck? Ah, somebody's reading ahead. You, sir, passed the exam. Very good. Yeah. Yep. It's going to already be smoldering. Somebody's fucking paying attention. I like it. I also thought, hey, I could do the same scenario on the Eastern Front and just, change the equivalents. But we'll see. We will see. I think I'm going to give up on getting that church. I think it just doesn't really matter what it is. The problem with that church is that is a specific town, and there is a specific church in that specific town. You can go and you can find pictures of it right now, and nobody makes a model exactly of it. And some of it is just a scenario. So I think that if you have a built-up area, it'd be fine. I've got the five. I've got 5 more buildings coming. Plus, I've got the 2 really built up ones. That was the problem. The 2 really built up ones. So I've got this one, the other 2 really built up ones from Queen's Hussars. We've got this one that's in good shape. It's not destroyed yet. And we should have a pretty decent town, and then pick up some other 3D printed stuff. I'm loving doing the building, especially since I basically knocked it out in 2 days. Hell, at that rate, we can really do that. You listen, you watch live sessions you missed. Yes, you're a nerd burglar too. That's not a nerd burglar. He's a history nut. Oh, everybody's nerdy about something. Even the people that are into sports. Yeah, you're a stat nerd. People are like, oh, I'm not a nerd, I'm into sports. Yeah, you just know how far somebody ran with a turkey under their arm. You're one of them too. And the trees. After I saw the way I knocked out that building, the trees are going to look great. I don't know what the hell exactly I'm going to do with them, but I'm telling you, that's what my goal. I almost said the M word. Mission state. Oh shit! I want this game to look as good as the stuff you see in magazines. Some assholes are out there taking pictures, okay, of their game table, and they get to play on stuff that looks like stuff that's in War Game Soldiers and Strategy. Why the hell can't I be one of them? I see stuff that I like better than mine, and I'm like, all right, fuck this. I'm turning it up to 15, right? I don't go like, man, I'm never going to be good at this. Nope. Nope. And you guys can do too. And it can be however good you want it to look like. You don't have to be as long as you're happy with it. You're the conductor, and it's your symphony. As long as you're happy with it, that's all that matters. And that's probably the only musical reference I'll ever do, because I'm not a musical person. Nerd burglar, Rhett, that's right. Auga! What is this voting you were doing today? You're posting all about voting. There's no voting in middle of May. I think it's a bad idea to let people vote. I think they should just appoint people, and if we don't like them, we'll hang them. Hey, let's have a different problem. Local primary was Tuesday. We had an election here in this little town of 11,000 people. Well, it sounds like, we don't have any teeth here, but this is the same town I've always worked in, and it's 15 minutes north of where I've always lived. So it's 15 minutes north of a town of about 150,000 people, 140, something like that. So it's still a big suburbia, but anyhow, it was an election. There was literally one person to vote for. It was a city commission meeting, and one of our neighbors was running against somebody that just out of the blue decided they wanted to do that. So we went there. They gave us this big thing. It wasn't even a primary. I don't even know when the Florida primary is. It doesn't really matter. I don't always vote in the primary, but sometimes it's already figured out for you. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, it was a huge form for like literally, bubble this person's name or bubble this person's name. That was it. It's like, wow. All right, let's see if this fits in there now. Or it's still a bit longer. That's about right. Okay, that's Ajax. Now, the 3 Plastic Soldier Company ones. I'm going to mount these guys on stands, and some people are going to cry. Oh, I can't believe you put them on stands. Get over it. I lost track of where the hell this was. How far along is it in there? It's about right there. So let's go about right here. And there might be a better way to do this, but I haven't found it yet. Because gluing this on here first and then putting the goop around it, that ain't the way. That's not the way to do it. It'd take you forever to get the goop where you want it. But yeah, I took the plunge and I'm like, well, I better get those things from Noble Knight before they aren't available anymore. I mean, some of them were like $10 each. I'm like, that's a steal. So I got like 5 or 6 buildings for like $80 with shipping. That's pretty cheap. Because the 2 buildings that I have are pretty built up. I mean, they even have a basement, so to speak. Because you come in, you actually walk into the first level, and there's 1 level below them. And I'm like, okay, well, to put those buildings on the board, we need more like buildings like the ones I have. And unfortunately, or depending on how you want to look at it, I was actually discouraged because I had these buildings that were damaged. I'm like, I don't know how they're going to turn out. I said, dude, just paint them black and doing the dry brush thing, man, I think it worked out great. Now I am going to have to get some rubble. Not put it everywhere, but put it in certain places. That'll buy 3D printed from somebody. There's several people that make rubble stuff, but I'm not going to be worried about those details at this point just yet. And then I don't know what I'm going to do for the. I don't know what I'm going to do for the mat. If I'm playing on an 8x8 table, I got some felt that I bought. I might paint my own wargaming mat. You can make it whatever freaking color you want. I mean, by the time I get around to that, I'll be at least have half a clue how to use an airbrush. These tracks are kind of fat. Well, I watched a little part of the Godzilla movie yesterday. Still haven't made it through it. I'm just not much for sitting there and watch things happen. I'd rather just make them happen. I'd rather play a game or something than just sit there and watch a movie. But I really don't know much about the history of the Godzilla movies because I'll tell you what, it seems like, I don't really know what the backstory is from the standpoint of, why are you punishing the people of Japan already? They already got the living shit bombed out of them. And they created this monster that's just attacking them. I always thought that it'd be like, hey, we're going to create this monster that was affected by nuclear war, and we're going to send it after the United States, who dropped the bomb on us, kind of thing. But I don't know. Maybe it's just kind of their way of, being apologist. Maybe I'm looking too much into it, but Australian Greg here. Waiting for Lorraine to get before we head out, spending a week on the Gold Coast in Queensland. That's north of you. Gold Coast, is that where is that across from the big reef, Great Barrier Reef? Why the Gold Coast? There was no gold in Australia, was there? If my people would have gone over there if it was. Seekers of gold and silver. I think that fits on there pretty well. Okay. Next. The problem with these things is I build these. I did 6 of them, and the next thing I know, I want to do more. I want to do more. I guess that's a good sign. Instead of being like, I never want to build another one of these ever again. I need to watch a program on, maybe there's a program like this. How did people lose or gain their accents? Like, for instance, why did people in Australia have that accent? Why did people come to the U.S. and lose the British one? You know, why are Canadians sound like us except for a few words? I'm genuinely curious. Like, you know, I mean, how does that happen? Oh, I lost track of where the hell it was again. Okay, it's about that far in. Oh, we got a whole kinds of things here. Oh, yeah. Hey, Greg, are you running a DBA in Moab, mother of all battles? You're just waiting for Tick to release his Gazala series so I can get inspired on some North Africa stuff. Yeah, Gazala's got there's some interesting things at Gazala. No, too far south. GBR is about 60 kilometers north of here. Gold Coast originally a marketing ploy, but now its official name. Gold refers to the color of the sand. Yeah, you got a big ass country down there. I mean, it's like America sized. Or, you know, Canada sized. I don't know what's bigger, but it's along that. It's along those. It's close enough. You know, Brazil, the United States, Canada, Australia. They're all relatively about the same size, give or take 15%. India's just a tad bit small. I think China's about the same size too. Mother of all battles. I never liked the name for that Moab, that mother of all bombs. I'm like, really? It's not even a nuke. I never finished watching the Ticks one on the Operation Crusader. I don't have much to watch on it, but it's just real intensive listening because, you know, like I want to write stuff down for like scenarios and stuff. Okay. Argyle's done. And now, arrogant. Or as they say in France, arrogant. Maybe that's not how they say it, but that's how they should say it. My pseudo French. The French are like the Polish. I would build 1939 Polish. I would build 1940 French. I'm not building French guys that are in U.S. uniforms with Sherman tanks with a little tricolor on the side. I'm like, I'm not doing Poles in Shermans. I'm just not going to. You know, it's just silly when they have their own stuff. You know, I'd do Canadians. You know, there's my excuse for buying more of these. I could do some Canadian stuff. They can blow stuff up and then apologize for it. Oh, sorry about that. Unless SS were in the building, then they wouldn't have. Then they're not apologizing for that shit. Those assholes had it coming. I'll have to pay an SS at some point. Although their ranking system is just ridiculous. You know, the this Führer and the other Führer and the, toilet brush Führer and the, the toothbrush Führer. And, it's like, stop. And the racist assholes on top of that. Toilet brush Führer. Bigger than the 48 contiguous states and Hawaii, but smaller when Alaska's added. Might need to paint an army. You probably saw the more interesting bits. He gets into a discussion of who made the biggest mistakes at the end, kind of like his market garden video. Well, the Germans made the biggest mistake because it's such a seesaw battle, Armies and enemies of the Achaemenid Persians. Day 2 is Meet the Millennials. Ugh. Millennials just has such a bad connotation. Ooh. Although there's worse than the millennials, there's my daughter's generation. God, they suck. They don't even speak the English language. They have all these concocted terminology. They have all these concocted terminologies that aren't even pluralized correctly. And then we'll epoxy these guys down. And then we'll move over to the big cats, which are going to be a pain to scrape this stuff off because I hadn't messed with them in a while. All right, let's open this up a little bit let's open it up a little bit here. And let's open it up a little bit here. Meet the Millennials. I'd rather not. Oh, man. Now, we need to take a little bit more of this off. Okay, let's get this crap out of here. Yeah, I don't feel like messing with the epoxy right now. Let's do the big cats. Meow. Okay, I'm going to move. I like the vehicles on stands because it allows you to put some dirt on here that looks like the stuff that they're in. It's like a mini diorama. I mean, yeah, they don't look great if they're like in a city street, but how often are they in a city street? Most of the time, these are off-road. All right, we got lots of big cats. Apparently, I've got 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I really have that many to do? Well, I know I've got a couple king tigers and several panthers. Well, you're not supposed to be there. Okay, king tiger 1. And we got to paint a Panzerführer for that guy. See if I can find a figure that looks like old Hessler. Okay, and then this one needs one. Yep. Use the bad guys. If that offends you, well then tough. Okay, and then this Kursk Panther. And then the other Kursk Panther. And then the Tigger from Cromwell. Yeah, now I know why I have this many. Yep. The Green Panther, and my favorite, just because it's a unique color, my favorite one so far has been, I don't know, I like my British Shermans a lot. It seems like every time I paint something new, it's my newest favorite one. Yeah, this old gal. It's just because it's that unique color. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Where's the 10th one? Maybe I just added another one for good measure. Yep. And I got a bunch of armored cars to do. Damn you, Jerry's! All right. I've already sent the players pack to the organizers. Once registrations are open, I'll post details on the 2DBA Facebook pages and the Fanaticus forum. Okay, Greg, thanks for stopping by, man. And we'll touch up the end of that. When we go and do the final check here. Boy, this thing takes up the whole freaking stand. Oh, this is going to be a nightmare. It's pretty wide, too. Let's see how difficult it is to scoop this out. Not too bad. Well, it's my own fault. It's not too bad. Like I said, it's better than doing it the other way, which would be to glue it on here and then goop around it. I'm going to switch to this. I got to put pressure on this. This is brutal. All right, I got 3 of them. Where are the other ones? Here it is. Let's check for size here. Now, this one I gotta do a little bit different. Before I glue it down, I gotta paint it brown again. Because what happens is because the loud something. I don't think the girls are back yet. Because the background color is not black, but white, if I leave some of this exposed, it's going to stand out like a sore thumb. So I'm going to coat it back with brown, the same base color. And that way, if there's any little bit showing, it'll be easy to repair that. The girls will be getting back any moment. It was almost like 90 degrees today. All right, let's see if we're even close. That side's pretty close. So's that one. Okay, cool. Who's next? Let's do the tiger. Now, this one's interesting because it's a Cromwell one and it actually sticking up higher than the other ones. So I really should put it on the base that has the thickest goop, if there is one. Okay, now that's the candidate. I didn't really think about that. That's the one we're going to put it on. Yeah, it's actually pretty thick. And it's too late to. I don't want to fix that now. It's a bit late. This is a beautiful tank, anyways. This miniature. Very well done. Although I'm not a Tiger 1 fan. It's the first Tiger 1 I've ever painted. Actually, these are the first King Tigers I've ever painted, too. Yeah, we'll do an unboxing on the stuff coming from Noble Knight. Should be here in about a week or so. And we'll work on stuff until they get here. This weekend I'm probably going to do the other two buildings, the big built-up buildings. They require a lot of cleanup. And I'm not going to take the Dremel to it. I don't want that stuff being airborne. With or without a mask, I don't want that. I don't want that mothball smelling stuff to go airborne. So we're just going to chip away at it with the X-Acto knife and we should be fine. formaldehyde smelling dust. Oh, did I go too big on this one? No. No, we're good, but probably need to stop right there. It's not too bad taking this stuff off, but I waited a little too long. It's just taking longer than it should. I'm not going to fuck with it. I probably should have realized it was as thick as it was. I'm probably going to have to build that up. We'll see. We'll leave it like this for now. I'm sure I'll figure it out and I'll make the right decision when I make it. This ugly ass thing. And thank goodness I made the changes to it that I did. Otherwise, it'd really be ugly. That's significantly wider. Okay. Let's widen this up a little bit. All right, Marcus, thanks for stopping by, man. Well, you know where I'll be. I shouldn't be traveling this weekend. Can't say the same thing for the next one. Maybe travel on the next one. Is the next one Memorial Day? I think it is. Actually, we may not, because right after Memorial Day, we're going to be taking a trip. At least that's what the plan is right now. Got a trip scheduled. Let's take a little bit out of the front, a little bit out of the back. Okay. Wasn't I just having coffee? Still yawning. Ineffective coffee. We'll see if I'm happy with these guys once they're on the base. I think I will be, considering how poor these models are. The only models I'm not excited about building that I have right now is I've got a Martyr 3 that's an Eschi model and a Ferdinand / Elephant. All right, I'm going to take a little bathroom break. I'll be right back. All right. We can certainly make it to the point where we're scraping all this stuff off. If I don't do anything more than that, well, that might just be what it is. But that's this one plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. So that'll be our goal. Did I already cut into this? I don't remember if I did or not. Yep, I see it here. I don't know if I cut the other side though. Well, when in doubt, cut it out. Oh dear. That one's McHard. Yeah, I shouldn't have waited a month to do this. Maybe it's not a month, but it's certainly a couple of weeks. Okay. And I might actually get some of that coconut fiber. If anything has a candidate for having camouflage on top of it, it would be these guys. But I'm not going to put it on there permanently. If I do that, of course, I don't have any of those knock leaves. There's an article in War Game Soldiers and Strategy about doing that. Looked pretty convincing. But I don't want to make it permanent. You just put them on there and then, take them off if need be. Especially if you have a burning panther. Putting something flammable on a tank just isn't a good idea. It's the last thing you need. Is have something on the outside of your tank alight. Let's check for fit on here. Yep. That one's good. I keep hearing those sounds, and I realized I was hearing them all last couple nights. And it's actually bugs. It's bugs banging themselves into the window. Yes, we have a shitload of bugs here. easily the worst thing about Florida. I mean, unless you like bugs, which, you know. Oh, this thing looks shitty. This looks like an old model. Looks better than it did before. Because this is a refurb. This is the old Hasegawa Panther. I guess it's a G. Okay, we're good. I'll make sure I didn't have any messages. Another problem with using the phone as the camera. Be like, hey, I tried to reach you. I said, yeah, I can't. I'm using the phone as the camera. I'm back to doing that again. I'm not going to give that Streamlabs a rest. Last thing I need to do is get into a fight with something keeps me from being able to film. We need to get things accomplished here. This should be sufficient to get that where we need to be. No, this is actually coming off easier than the other ones. I wonder why. Probably stuff's thicker. Let's take a little bit more off the inside here. Yep. We got left 4. the jackhammer. Oof. The funny thing is if you drop this in water, you can get all this stuff to come off. This stuff will get softened with water. I'm going to put the side skirts on one of these. Yeah. We could put them afterwards. Not that many pictures of the Panthers with them on anyways. I don't really like the way they look. The little mini shirts in. Panther with mini skirt. What it is, they're little. But that is the weak point of the Panther right here, the side right there. Bad things that could happen. They get a shot put in there. Get in there, penetrate the hole, set off the ammo on fire. Some crispy sauerbraten. Yeah, it's like where it's thicker. It's actually easier to scrape off. Note to self, start putting this on thicker. Always have to do a little bit of touch up, but it's very, very minor. And because it's dry brush touch up, you don't have to really wait for it to dry between coats. Okay. Next. Get that guy out of there. Five people. That's a lot for a weeknight. It's a Nerdburger convention. This is a bit tedious, but you know what? You only have to do it once. And you don't have to do it at all if you don't want to put your tanks on stands, but it's too late to do that. I got 100 of them on stands, and like I said, some of these tanks, some of these vehicles have to be on stands, or they're just too delicate and they're going to get damaged. And I don't want some of them on stands and some of them not. So on stands they go. There we go. That's golden. All right. The Golden Panther. Oh, the legend of the Golden Panther. See if I can finally finish watching that silly Godzilla movie tonight. God, what's making all those sounds? I don't think that's the ice maker. Of course, I got the door open to this room. I'm surprised the girls aren't here. They went out shopping and they're like, "You want to go?" I said, "I would have gone if if I didn't have to like shower after work, man. It was friggin' hot as shit." I don't mind going shopping and see if there's some deals to grab, but I don't like the idea of showering and then going back out. I have to shower again before I go to bed. I don't go to bed nasty. Okay, that's about right. Two left. Right? One's a spare. Two left. Hold on one second. All right, had to let the girls in the house. We got 2 more Panthers to do. I don't remember if I did this or not. I think I did. We'll find. Yep, there it is. There's that line. We gotta scrape this stuff off, otherwise we'll be smothered and covered. Ah, yes, the lovely cough. And these are all in the same size stand, just for consistency. No, they don't have to be. We're not going to measure from the front of the stand. It's going to be from the actual tank. But just to avoid chaos. Yeah, track's not wider than that. The only thing I don't like about filming on this phone this way, well, other than I can't surf with my phone, honestly, that's not a big one, but the text disappears. It doesn't, I can't leave it on there. Like, I can't. Live chat. Oh, it wasn't on live chat. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I wish it would just stay on there. Like, I don't need to see the whole picture. You know, I'm living it here. But we would find something that wasn't going to create a disconnect every freaking 30 minutes. So we'll try it the old way maybe in a week or so. But if not, we'll just keep plugging away at it like this. All right, see if we're close to where this needs to be. Close enough. And then the last one. I don't just use the same model because one could be a little wider than the other. Imperfectionness. It's funny because these Panthers are more freshly painted looking than these, and that would make sense because this was their first debut at Kursk. Did I do the inside? I don't think I did. Where are we? About there. And God, that's loud. That's why you put the phone in a case. Unlike one person I know that doesn't put their phone in a case. I know they don't live here. I wonder why their phone's all beat up. It's expensive, man. You gotta take care of that stuff. They still get fucked up even when you're in a good case. All right, and that's good. We just have to mimic the one on the other side here, and then we'll be done for the night. You might epoxy these in the morning or something like that. Really don't feel like messing with it tonight. Yeah, because I got to paint these. I got to paint these brown before I epoxy them. These that have the white base. These Vestas have very brittle plastic. Okay. There we go. So that's what we're going to do for this evening. And then I still got a couple martyrs, 3 martyrs, and 2 armored cars to do, and a Hetzer. But we can do those in between stuff. So, all right. Well, thanks for stopping by, folks. We'll catch you guys in the next one, and see you on. Well, we'll be back. We'll be back when it's the weekend. It'll either be Friday evening or Saturday morning. Anyways, take care, folks. Thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye.